Under the Silver Lake is a very weird movie. It's almost like, so it's from the director who did It Follows, and not a lot of people heard about this movie, and there's a lot of speculation as to why the movie kind of got stealthily released. So apparently so It Follows was a huge success for the director. It was his debut, made a lot of money. It was a horror movie. And so we got a ton of money to make a second movie, and the second movie was this one, Under the Silver Lake. It stars Andrew Garfield, and I guess from what I read, it premiered at Cannes Film Festival, and it got not so well, not the best reaction, and because of that, A24 sort of buried it. They were just like, let's not release this right now. Let's wait a bit. And then they kept delaying it. And it got delayed for years, and it finally came out, I think in 2018 or 2019, I forget. But kind of just stealthily. They didn't even promote it. They didn't market it. They just kind of pushed it out there. Nobody ever really heard of it. And but it's since then gotten this weird cult following, and I had watched this YouTube channel talk about it, and they made it sound, because I had never heard of it either, and they made it sound really interesting. So I avoided the spoilers, and I was like, I'm gonna just pause this podcast, and I'm gonna go watch it. And I knew I was in for one of those weird, obtuse movies, but so the premise of the movie is Andrew Garfield meets this girl who's swimming in the swimming. He lives in one of those kind of complexes that share like a swimming pool, and he sees this girl. They kind of hit it off, and then the next day she's like, let's hang out tomorrow. And then the next day he goes to her place, and nothing's there. All of her stuff's gone. They've moved out, and she's just completely vanished. And he sort of goes on this weird detective quest to try to track this girl down. But it's like a modern movie, but the movie is, the score is very, classic old Hollywood noir type music. It's got a very interesting way that it's shot. It kind of feels like Hitchcock, like those old movies, like those zooms and that kind of thing. The way it's shot is very old, kind of classic Hollywood as well. And that's just a very broad thing of what it's about. But a lot of people think that the movie didn't get promoted a lot, not because of the response, but because the director was really outing some evil stuff going on in Hollywood. Because the movie definitely comments on Hollywood, and there's a lot of it's a weird movie. So if after you hear what I say, if you think it sounds, because I'm not going to spoil anything, if you think it sounds good, just be prepared for the fact that it's very odd. It's one of those obtuse kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those kind of very artistic, metaphorical, interpretive type movies. So be in the mindset for that, but it's not overboard. I felt like it was really kind of the perfect balance of like, you can follow a base storyline from beginning to the end. You'll realize that there is a lot of stuff going on, and some of it won't make sense to you, and some of it's going to be kind of abstract and weird, but you still can cling to the original base plot line. But there will be things where you're like, oh, what's that about? So if you don't like that kind of movie, you probably won't like this movie, but I kind of recommend watching, because it's the first movie I've seen that does this interesting thing where they kind of treat the movie like a video game. Like, you can really... it's definitely meant to be rewatched, but it's almost interactive. Like, even the movie poster, if you look at the movie poster, I'm not going to say anything, but there's a lot of hidden things in that movie poster. And the movie itself has it's almost like The Witness, the video game The Witness. The movie reminded me of like, oh, if Jonathan Blow made a movie, this would be kind of what it's like, I bet. But there's so many like hidden codes and symbols. Like, literally as you're watching, once you know what to look for, you can notice codes, like literal codes to write down and decipher. And like, the entire movie sort of eventually reveals like how you decode the messages, so you can go back and rewatch it, and like, you'll see someone's shirt with like symbols on it. And at first that just looks like a normal shirt. But once you kind of seen the movie, you're like, oh, if I go back, that actually means something, and that spells out this word, and then that word spells this. And you get these secret messages through the whole movie. And it's kind of fun. It's really interesting. And it's one of those movies where I love watching kind of the video essay afterwards to see people break it down. And so it's definitely unique, and it's not abstract enough that it's a huge turnoff, because there are some times, if I'm in the right mood, it's rare, but if I'm in the right mood, I will watch a super abstract movie. But this one was just enough. Like, it wasn't too crazy. It definitely gets crazier the longer the movie goes on for, but yeah, I don't know. I would say check it out. Maybe it just be prepared for some weird stuff, but it's pretty cool to see all the little codes and stuff. So anyway, a lot of people said that the director was really taking a stab at Hollywood, and so that's actually the reason why the movie got zero press, because it does kind of, I don't want to give anything away, but it does shoot some arrows in certain directions. Hey, thanks for listening to this clip of my podcast. I publish new episodes on the last Friday of every month at 12:45 p.m. PST for all premium members of my Patreon. My name is Cooper Bebo. I'm an actor, writer, and producer of film, television, and video games. Head to patreon.com/CooperBebo. You can sign up for free, get access to my blog, or you can toss me a few dollars if you want to support me and get special bonuses like this very podcast, or you can subscribe to my YouTube. You'll continue to get free clips and a brand new video every single Wednesday. So whether you like to watch, listen, or read, I've got something for everyone. I've also got a video game called Billy Saves the World. Please check that out on Steam right now. I've got movie projects in the works. I update all of that stuff in Discord all of the time. Again, the basic channels are free to join. Just head to patreon.com/CooperBebo to get access. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next clip.